Good morning, good morning. I had to think about what day it was. I know it's Friday, right? Oh, and I slept pretty good. You got this going on, that's fun. All right, let me get this set up. I'm gonna share it over on my business page, Becky Piper, Life is a Journey. Let's get this shared. How's your day going? Have weekend plans? We need to get the kids' Halloween stuff all squared away. Yeah, I know it's not even the end of September, but we are going to visit them end of next week, and we won't be back till after Thanksgiving. We won't be back until after Halloween. So we got to get everything squared away. So I got a few things going, but I got to work on it. All right, we're going to talk lashes today for the most part, but we got to pull ourselves together. So yeah, we all stumble. You know, sometimes we fall into some peanut butter. I didn't this time. A little bit of pistachio butter though. And they're talking in Weight Watchers, not really my favorite topic this week. Activity tracking. I don't really think about activity tracking. I need some coffee. And the reason I don't, oh, by the way, sorry, squirrel brain. Quadra is my free gift for the next few days through Sunday. Any three items purchased either from Unique or Fancy, and I think from Young Living on my site, you're going to get any three of those that are valued at retail value 20 or more. It can be on sale for a lot less. Just saying, you're going to get free Quadra. So run if you need a mascara refill. All right, let's put some primer on. We need to like spackle the face. This is it. Primer is your friend as we get older. So yeah, got to get the Halloween stuff squared away. I keep saying I need to text my niece, tell her that we're going to bring the gift for her littlest one, as of this moment, the littlest one. Because there's another one on the way. We're going to bring it with us in October when we go, instead of shipping it up. And so that's a couple weeks later than what the birthday is. So it is what it is. That'll be fine. We did that. I mean, if we go close to when it's a birthday, we try to take them then instead of shipping them, because it's more fun to watch them open it than it is to like ship and then, yeah, whatever. All right, so we're on the real cash side today. Let me show you. Yeah, this is my go-to sweatshirt I wear around the house because we keep our house chilly all year long. Yeah, you can tell I'm worn. It's worn, and I got capris on, and we've got just like this simple. This is how I live my life, in t-shirts and jeans, whether it be jeans or it be like capris. Capris today because it's going to be almost 90 out there. Yoy. Okay, so let's get these going here. Say hey when you're hopping on. Let's do some eyes. What was I thinking today with my eyes? I didn't really want to use all powder because it's going to be so hot out. So I'm going to use a liquid today because, yeah, I need it to stay in place better. And powders, like as much primer as you put down, powder shadows for me are more for when it's chilly out. Not when it is going to be 100 degrees outside. All right, let's just use some Marvelous Mauve. These will be available starting October 1st, but you can pick up, now you could pick up some of the other, my go-tos. Actually, let's use one of the go-tos that's available right now instead of teasing you with one of the ones that's gonna be not available till one. I'm gonna grab Giggly out of my bag here. Is that the first one? I used Reverent the other day. I'm going to use Giggly today. That says ornate. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see what they say very well. And I can go by the color, but it's inside of a bag. All right, Giggly. Kind of a matte pink. All right. So mostly gonna give you some tips and tricks on mascara, but we're gonna talk here. All right, so I don't have to go to Weight Watchers this week. I did that, got that out of the way last week. Good thing, because I tested my Pillsbury recipe again. Pulled the plug yesterday. I actually submitted my recipe. It's done. I had to block some time because I was afraid. In one area of the rules, it said you could save your work along the way, and there's like multiple parts to it. You have to, tell about yourself. You have to tell your story about the recipe. You have to give all the steps of the recipe and all the things and attach a picture. One area said that you could like save your work along the way and come back to it, but another area said you got to do it in one setting. So I was playing it safe and said, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I have enough time to do it. All right, so I'm just tapping this in and pulling it up to my brow. Now, if you have hooded eyes, you might need to lift up a little bit, lift chin and look down to make sure you can see that color. Mine are not super hooded. In fact, sometimes they're more hooded than others. And I have a feeling that's really based on sleep or lack thereof. But some people have hooded eyes all the time. All right, we're just gonna swipe this on. This is the easiest, most versatile, and cream shadows have become my friend. Actually, cream shadows are one of the products that I really fell in love with first, which the cream shadow I fell in love with at first is no longer available. It used to come in these little pots. And I would buy all the colors because I like them. I like to play around with them. But now we have evolved and we have liquid shadows like this. And then we're evolving further starting next month. And we have our liquid shadows are like this, which are even more stay put in place. But cream shadows are a mature vintage lady's friend. And no matter whether you have hooded eyes or not, you don't want to go past this imaginary line, nose to brow, actually. And if you do accidentally, mistakes happen. Like, kind of like falling into the peanut butter or falling into a Starbucks PSL, which, don't hate on me, I'm not a big fan of PSL. Now give me a peppermint mocha. Now we're talking. Or used to be that, wait, one sip here. When I first went to Weight Watchers back in 2000, well, not my first rodeo, but this last time when I joined for the last time, a Java chip Frappuccino, like even in the grande size, was not a ton of points. Now it is. But are they so good in the summertime? It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. You didn't know that. Okay, so I've had a couple questions recently about how to cover up underneath this area. And it's really not most, either be bags or if you're like me, you can tell, it actually sinks in. It's more about color correction instead of covering up. So when you think about it, you want to use less product. You want to target it at the right places. And you want to make sure that you've got it set up properly. So one, you want to make sure you've got your moisturize happen. My moisturizer happens in the morning when I get up. Always. Unless I'm really tired and I forget. It doesn't happen too much. But literally, I think that's might be it, what I'm going to do for the eyes today, other than mascara. And I can't go a day without mascara. We're going to keep it super simple today. But I did want to talk a little bit about cover up. All right, so when you're concealing and or trying to draw less attention, you want to brighten it because it's sinking in. But you also want to use a contrasting color. You don't just want to use a color like in the same color family, just lighter. You want to actually go an opposite color, which is one of the reasons why I like the Dermatology color corrector, and I use that a lot. But you can also use a different contrasting shade of your foundation, and this is a cream foundation. And I'm going to actually use my finger because it warms the product up. And then you're just going to tap it in where that sunken part is. And that's going to help offset that sunken look. It's going to help brighten it up a little bit. Because when it's sunken, it looks darker and it pulls it back. But you want to actually push it forward with some lighter color. And I've got a little darkness that goes on right here. So I'm using this offsetting color. Now, this is the first time I've used this offset color. I'm typically a cool-sided color. This one's neutral. I would probably have gone like warm. I didn't have one in the drawer. And so this is it. This is what we're going with. See how that's brightening that up? And it's like that sunken area is looking less and less like it's sunken. And I'm just tapping little bits at a time. And then bring it up to the lash line because you want it to gradually go up there.
Motion detected at the front door.
And then if you have like any spots anywhere else like that you need to cover up, you can tap that in there too. I've got discoloration all over my face. Just is. All right. As I got older, the more that happens. All right. The reason I even had this color was my hairstylist wanted to try some different foundations. And so I picked up 3 or 4 different shades for her to try in this type. I feel like this is going to be the type that she's going to like. She says, I mean, everybody's different. She says that anything that has a serum in it, whether it be my line or anybody else's line, breaks her out. So we're going to try this one. I really like this one. I just don't use it every day because I don't think about it. And I don't feel like I need extra, full coverage every day. I probably should have went with my tinted moisturizer today because it has an SPF of 30 in it. And that's one thing I didn't do today was put any SPF on underneath. Even though I'm going to be outside. My nose is like on the red side today. So we're just going to kind of give it a little extra here too. All right, see how that's brightening? And those under eye sunken areas are not as prominent right now, which makes me happy. I actually think this neutral compared to my cool colors is actually not a bad thing. All right, so now I'll go in with my normal color. So this one is 4C, so cool. And did I get this? Yes. And less is better. So you're going to tap it in there into the product and then just tap onto the face. And you don't want to go all the way up where you just put that extra color there because then you're just defeating the purpose of that color correction. All right. Stumbling. I'm trying not to stumble. I'm trying to keep it really together because, well, let's be honest. To be honest, my husband's 40th class reunion, who I did not go to school with him. I mean, he went to a whole different high school than I did, is coming up in mid-October. And we're going. So I think I've got my outfit picked out. I ordered a pair of shoes. I've got bunions. Yeah, they're there, especially on one foot versus the other. So I kept getting the Facebook push from a little setting spray. Ortho Feet, because I ordered some Ortho Feet shoes for my husband because he's been having some trouble with his hip. And I thought maybe having a really good pair of shoes is going to help him, in my mind, cure it. Well, they're not magic, but they have. I think I feel better about the support he's getting because the shoes he typically buys, and we walk a lot outside, or the cheapo brand. And they would wear out really quick and then, oh. So these have a better base on them. So I kept, because I bought those, then of course went Facebook. It's going to propose you everything. And they propose these really cute burgundy, like little booties. They have a little bit of a heel on them, but and I ordered them in wide and they're coming today. And I think they're suede, I think. So I ordered them and they're coming today and we'll try them on. I also bought a shoe stretcher. If you've ever used a shoe stretcher, let me know. They look very intimidating, but I also recently bought a pair of platform tennis shoes from Coach in their outlet. And, well, they hurt my feet. Plus, I don't even really know how often I'm going to wear them because generally I'm out in my Hokas and we're out for a walk. Pull this down here. So if you've ever used a shoe stretcher and you have some tips, let me know, because I have not. I want to stretch them out. They're the leather ones. Super cute. I mean, and they're on trend right now because like platform tennies are like all the rage. So I'm trendy. I'm not gonna lie, I like trendy things. I always have. I like to stay in fashion, but then things stay in my closet. But then, like I say, I come back to these t-shirt and jeans. But for, the 40th class reunion, I picked up a couple of shorter shirts because I'm short. And I got these black jeans from American Eagle that are super comfortable. And Beachy Blush. Okay. So they have one of them's fully burgundy and the other one's like a dark, it's black, but it's got little flowers on it. So I'm taking both with me, and whatever, how, are you like me? Like, if you don't feel good when you put something on, especially if you're going to go out, you're just not going to feel confident. And so, yeah, I'm taking both. We'll decide that day which one I'm going to wear, but the shoes will go with either one. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully they're going to be comfortable. But we'll find out. They're supposed to come today. I am very much an impulse buyer. In fact, I ordered this shirt today. That's been coming up in my feed, like this little boutique-y thing, been coming up in my feed. And I clicked on it once, and I almost bought it back when I clicked on it back in the day. And then I decided against it, and then I came back to it, and it was out of stock. Well, it came back in my feed today. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it because I kept looking for it. In fact, it was one of those deals where, did you know that you can take a picture of like a piece of clothing and then go to Amazon and you can click on the little camera and it'll search for something similar. Oh, you can hear the old car. Wonder if we're taking that when we walk. Not sure. But it didn't find anything like, one, cheaper, or two, that I was really liking. So I didn't buy it. And then it came back in my feed today and it's back. So it's like, okay, yeah, we need it. All right, so I tapped in that color corrector, that offsetting color, cream shadow underneath. And I want to make sure I get it set. So using a little bit of setting powder. I promise I'm going to get to my lashes and give you some tips. Lashes are towards the end, so. All right, so I'm getting this set underneath my eyes. I'm using a little fluffy brush, a little bit of setting powder. And now I can come in with my big fluffy brush because that's at the point I'm at, and set the rest of this. I'm going to come in with my brows that I've been enjoying, this new brow gel. And super simple eye look just because I just used one color, all it is. So I'm going to try and not stumble. Back to my topic. I'm going to try and not stumble on my journey this weekend. Although I'm having burgers Sunday night, and that generally will pop the weight up. But it's okay. It's okay. I remember, I don't even know if I know what kind of burger I asked him. Usually I do like one of my chicken sausages and do a burger that way. I don't know. But I put shake and bake pork on the list for next week. We haven't had that in forever. And somebody mentioned it on a Weight Watchers meeting. I need a little extra color. Someday you should just do. And so then it was like in my brain, like food noise, hello. Oops, that's the wrong brush. I'm gonna use my blush brush. Oh, I didn't take any on my nose there. So we are having some shake and bake. And my husband likes to go like homeschool and just make it from Pinterest recipes, so that I guess that all of it's in there. And like, I may look up a Pinterest recipe, but I actually put it on my list to maybe buy some. All right, let's go ahead and do the brows. I actually throw on some of my lip balm here. That's all I'm gonna do with the color of that today. This is Sunday brunch.
Motion detected at the front door.
These are brand new. Oh, yeah, too much going on there. Very hydrating. And I like to carry them in my purse because a lot of times we'll be out, especially if we're going for a walk. Please don't look at that cold sore. Because then my lips just feel better. They don't dry, like whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the brows. I'm gonna fill it in a little bit before I start with my gel, just to give it a little extra, because some of these out here on this outer edge are really non-existent. And then the rest will be able to fill in because I've actually got some brows right there. I don't know, if you're lucky and you have a full set of brows, I'm jealous. But if you have a full set of brows and they go every which way, are you using a brow gel? I actually have really started to love this brow gel. It makes it super easy to use. It's got a little tint in it, and it just keeps them in place. Super easy to use too. Little tube, it's got a cute little brush on there. So you're gonna start by just brushing them straight up, all along where you just lined that out. And you can use the other side of it as a liner too. And then just pull it down through the tail. Here, my laundry's done over there. And I just grabbed the color medium today. It's medium dark. And like I said earlier, if you're just catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. My Quadra mascara is actually my free product through Sunday. And how do you get that free? You pick up 3 things from my store, either from Unique or Fancy, which is where my mirror is from. Mirrors, I should say. I use multiples of them. Some I travel with, some I keep here on my desk. But if you pick up any 3 that are 20 bucks retail or more, then you will get the free Quadra. All right, speaking of Quadra, I think that's where we're at. All right, right here, it's a tubing mascara, which means that it's gonna wrap around each of your lashes. I always start by swishing in there, wiping off the excess. All right, if you have hooded eyes, here's what you can do. You can grab where that hooded part is, chin up, look down, and that's how you apply both your shadows and your mascara. All right, let me do the small side first. Go in and give it a wiggle. Again, if you want to do chin up, look down, you can do that. I've got a mirror off to the side here, because chin up, look down works for everyone. And what does that do? It helps keep it from getting on that area where you just put that eyeshadow on. All right, so because this has a growth serum in it, you want to make sure especially that you get down to those lower lashes. Now, there's 2 schools of thought for us vintage ladies, whether or not you want to put any mascara on your lower lash or not. Totally up to you. I like a little on my lower lashes. Because have you ever noticed your lower lashes are, technically they look longer than your upper lashes? Now, if you have very few lashes at all, the growth serum is going to really help you in the long run. And then I just kind of give it a twist as I'm pulling up through. And then I use the end of the wand to pull through. Now, any mascara you're using, it's going to give you a better look if you start at the base and wiggle your way up. Now, if you have hooded eyes, you want to focus the majority of the length process in the center. But if you have not hooded eyes and you have decent lashes, you can do like the butterfly effect on the outside edge. Now, half the time when I'm doing my lashes, because I stumble or I'm doing something too fast, because you do want to take your time when you're putting your mascara on, I'll get some mascara like where I don't want it. So what you do with that is you're just gonna let that set there until it is completely dry, meaning you're just gonna finish the rest of your lashes and or maybe go put your lipstick on, or just give it a minute, and then you can just flake it off. Use a spoolie. Now I'm being careful today, so I'm not actually getting it all over the place, which is a good thing. But you can do a couple of coats of mascara. Just don't let it completely dry before you move on to the second coat. So in other words, do one eye, come back, do the other eye, and then come back to the first eye, and you can give yourself another coat. Now with the tubing mascara, one of the other benefits of it is that when you take it off at night, you just take your washcloth and hold it, a warm washcloth on both sides. I warm it up here, and then you just gently pull down. And it releases those tubes very gently, and you're not gonna end up with raccoon eyes. Now, that's also important throughout the day. If you like get into a sweat match, your mascara is not gonna run. So tubing mascara will do that for you. Now, if you're not using a tubing mascara, to remove it, I've got some other tips for that too. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably do a live sometime where we're talking about all the tips of how to remove your mascara, or I will do a post just to kind of help you guys out. All right. That's it. That's the look today. It doesn't get any simpler than that. This is pretty straightforward for me, laid back. This is my everyday kind of look. But if you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget, I'm here anytime you have any questions, or if you want to bounce any ideas off me, just let me know. Follow my page, Becky Piper Life is a Journey. Watch my videos, and I will drop this later today on my YouTube channel too, just so there's a record, and you can go back and watch them anytime. Have a fantastic Friday, and or any other day that you're watching this. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, y'all.